Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Hilltop, home of the Harrison County Fillies. And tonight, the Harrison County Fillies open up the 2A tournament in Section 5, opening round play against the Lady Wolverines of Western Hills. Good evening to Ed Lewis along with you, and for Jim Swinford. Jim, with the boys' side of things, as they open up their sectional tonight as well. That game being played over at Western Hills this evening. So hopefully by the end of the night, maybe we'll have both the Breads and the Fillies looking towards the next round of this year's 2A tournament. We are being brought to you this evening by Cynthiana Tire, also being brought to you by Ag Credit, Angelo's Pizza, Sora Home Medical, Van Hook Hardware, Poindexter Lumber, Primo Smile, Harrison Memorial Hospital, Southern States, Edward Jones, Bluegrass Stockyards, Hidden Mills, by Unity Christian Church, by your Cynthiana Hardys, by Canup Law, by Joe Cochran State Farm, by Judy Construction, by Snappy Tomato Pizza, also by Farm Credit Mid-America, and brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau. All great folks allowing us to have high school sports here on WCYN here tonight. We welcome you, the folks on our YouTube page tonight as well, which should be an interesting matchup. Western Hills come in with a record of 3-3 on the year, losing the last three, so a very streaky team as they get ready to take to the court here tonight. The Harrison County Fillies have lost the last couple of games, losing a couple of nights ago over at Paris, over against the Lady Hounds, and of course last Tuesday night falling to Bracken County. We are glad you're along with us here tonight as we get ready to get this game underway here at Harrison County. And as we mentioned, the last time these two teams played, we go back just a few years, actually to 2006, and saw Harrison County win by 20 points. At 58-38 was the final back, actually, at this date in 2006, so a few years ago. They were scheduled to 2021, but was canceled due to COVID. And so this is only the second time in the last 2 years that Western Hills and Harrison County have tangled. As we mentioned, Western Hills winning the first three games of the season, defeating Gallatin County, Carroll County, and Henry County, then falling to district rival Frankfort. Always a tough county, and many times Frankfort and Western Hills tangled. They then fell to Bluegrass United, and also losing to Great Crossing, that coming back on December the 13th. So that's a little about how this ball club got to where we are at the moment. As far as Harrison County goes, as we mentioned, the Fillies come in with a record of 1-5 on the young season. Is head coach Bill Watson looking for his second win as Harrison County head coach. The Fillies are falling the last two, falling, as we mentioned, to Bracken County back on the 13th last Tuesday, and then falling last Friday night to Paris over at Paris. So hopefully maybe getting back here at the Hilltop will help these girls out. They did win their last game here at the Hilltop, win over at Ludlow as well. Well, as we mentioned, we're inching our way closer. We'll, of course, join our PA announcer for the starting lineups as well as the national anthem in the next little bit. As we mentioned, the Breads are on the road tonight as they have made the trip to Western Hills. Also opening round play of the 2A tournament going on for the boys' side of things. It's very, very strange because you have opening round play today. The 2A tournament, as far as the next round, does not take place till back in sometime in January. So you got to win tonight. And as far as the girls' side of things, if they advance on, they would play here on, I believe, January the 6th. Also still in the tournament, Boyle County, Lexington Catholic, and Mercer County all have made their way to the semifinal play, which will be played here at the Hilltop as far as the girls' side of things. As you can hear, the band has joined us tonight, and they've decided to participate in the broadcast. So anyway, as far as the boys go, since the last time we were with you, they knocked off Henry Clay Friday night, defeated Fern Creek on Saturday. After tonight, they make the trip Thursday to take on Marshall County, or to go down to Marshall to take on a team out of Tennessee, Marshall County, and a team out of Florida. And so that's a little bit how the boys look as far as the next little bit. The Fillies, after tonight, they do have one more game before Christmas. They'll be making the trip to Bishop Brosser to take on the Lady Mustangs on Wednesday night. Of course, Jim will be along with you for that and have that game right here on WCYN radio, on the radio side of things on Wednesday night. Well, nice crowd on hand, a little bigger than the last couple of crowds we've seen here at the Hilltop for the Fillies action. Western Hills has brought a nice crowd with them over from Frankfort. Of course, out of the 11th region, out of that tough Frankfort district that features that Franklin County, as well as Great Crossings, as well as Frankfort over there. Tough district, a district that up until this year had Woodford County as a part of it for a number of years. Woodford moved to the 8th last year. When we inch our way closer, Harrison County, Western Hills, as far as Western Hills, under head coach Jana Hughes, they'll be starting like this. Be led on the floor by senior Christina Ayers. Ayers averaging 3.8 points, wears a number 21. Another starter tonight will be a senior Lauren McGillivray. McGillivray averaging 4.5 points on the year. Also getting a start tonight, Anna Mitchell. Mitchell averaging 7.2 points. She is a senior and wears a number 2. Also getting a start, number 15, a junior, Denise Waddle. Waddle averaging 2.5 points on the year. And finally getting a start tonight, averaging 5.2 points, wears the number 45, 7th grader, Mayla Campbell. Campbell also getting a start tonight for Western Hills. As far as Harrison County goes, they're led on the floor by freshman Keely Custard, averaging 7.2 points on the year. Her running mate in the backcourt will be sophomore Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens having 6.8 points, wears number 23. Inside at center, averaging 0.5 points, Katie Linville, wears a number 34. She is a sophomore. Getting a start, one senior, number 13, Brooke Kinney. Kinney averaging 3.2 points. And Caroline Van Hook, the leading scorer for the team at 10.3 points on the year, wears a number 22, is a senior. Our pregame report tonight being brought to you by your Cynthiana Hardee's. Your Cynthiana Hardee's, US 27 south of Cynthiana. I'm glad I'm amusing you, and I don't think we need to do that. But your Cynthiana Hardee's bringing you tonight's pregame report. Also, normally about this time, Unity Christian Church would do our opening prayer. Usually about this time, Bruce Templeton will be on Coffee Break Extra in the morning for his monthly visit with James Smith. So please join us for 9:10 for that. Right now, we're going to head to the PA announcer, Dr. Bill Faulkner, for tonight's starting lineups, as well as our national anthem being brought to you by the Harrison County Band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Harrison County High School, home of the Breds and Fillies. Tonight's first round of the 2A sectional features the Fillies versus the Lady Wolverines of Western Hills. At this time, please stand as we celebrate freedom and glory of the great nation, playing of the national anthem by the HCHS Pep Band. The colors are being presented by cadets from Harrison County High School Air Force Junior ROTC program. Carrying the U.S. flag in cadet is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Fraser Daly. Carrying the Kentucky State flag is Cadet Colonel Nathan Nickerson. And the guards are Cadet Colonel Peyton Fryman and Cadet Captain Miles Bryant.
for tonight's starting lineups in just a matter of moments.
And now for the starting lineups. First for Western Hills. At guard, a 5'4" senior, number 2, Kiana Mitchell. At guard, a 5'2" junior, number 15, Denise Waddell. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 21, Christina Ayers. At forward, a 5'8" senior, number 0, Lauren Gagey. And at forward, a 6' 7th grader, number 44, Malia Campbell. The head coach for Western Hills is Jay Hughes. And now for your 2022-2023 Harrison County High School Fillies. At guard, a 5'3" freshman, number 21, Kiki Custer. At guard, a 5'6" sophomore, number 23, Danny Hudgens. At forward, a 5'5" senior, number 13, Brooke Kinney. At forward, a 5'9" senior, number 22, Caroline Baylor. And at forward, a 5'8" sophomore, number 34, Katie Lintel. The head coach for Harrison County is Bill Watson, who is assisted by Jeff Kinney, Alexis Kimball, and Casey Watson.
There is tonight's starting lineups brought to you here tonight. As we mentioned, Dr. Bill Faulkner in the PA tonight for Harrison County. Once again, the Wolverines going with Christine Ayers, Mayla Campbell, along with Lauren Mayhe, Kana Mitchell, and Denise Waddell getting the starters for Western Hills. Harrison County counting with their usual lineup of Keely Custard, Bailey Hudgens, Katie Linville, Brooke Kinney, and Caroline Van Hook. We get ready to get this underway here tonight. Doing the jumping for Western Hills will be Campbell. Harrison County will see Caroline Van Hook. Ball goes up and into the hands of the Western Hill Lady Wolverines. That's Waddell. Waddell gets it across to the left side where she will find Mitchell. Mitchell looking inside, continues to dribble. Brooke Kinney's going to pick her up. Back out front to Denise Waddell. Waddell hands off to Mitchell. Mitchell back around the top of the key. Tries to bounce pass inside. She'll get it inside to a streaking Christine Ayers. Ayers puts it up and in 2-0 at the 7:38 mark. Western Hills draws first blood. Keely Custer bringing the ball down the floor slowly for the Fillies. Western Hills in their half-court defense. She's picked up around center court by Denise Waddell. Hands off to Hudgens. Hudgens inside to Van Hook. Caroline looks to go up and not able to get it to fall in. Saving it from going out of bounds will be Ayers, and here come the Lady Wolverines. Bringing the ball down is Waddell. Waddell goes to the right side where she'll find Mitchell. Mitchell out on the right wing. Looking inside to Campbell. Ball's knocked around. Linville's going to come out with it, and here come the Fillies. Caroline looks to bring the ball down the floor. Gets it across to Custer. Custer a couple of dribbles back out to Van Hook around center court. Coming out to meet her will be Mayhe. Mayhe stays right with her. Van Hook about 5 feet out. Kisses it off the glass. No good. Campbell down with authority and hands it off to Ayers. Ayers looking down on the left side. Quickly moves to Mitchell. Mitchell down in the left corner looking inside. Gets to bring it back out. Brooke Kinney hanging right with her. Mitchell looking right. Goes left. She gets tied up that time with Linville. We got a jump ball call. Possession or belonging to Harrison County. So the Fillies will take the ball over. So we mentioned our pregame report tonight brought to you by your Cynthiana Hardys. Your Cynthiana Hardy would love to feed you. So continuing to move on, bringing the ball down on the left side is Custer. Linville out front, top of the key, bounce pass out to Hudgens. Bailey looking to go to her left, bounce pass inside. It tries to go to Van Hook, and as she does, the first whistle of the night, and it looks like it will be against Ayers, and it will be. So Harrison County will take it out into their own basket, trailing 2-0, 6:22, barely underway here at the Hilltop. Opening round of this year's 2A tournament. Of course, as you know, as they move on into the tournament, Owensboro will host again this year. Van Hook puts it up. No good. Rebounding coming out is Van Hook, so underhanded to Linville. Linville's going to tie the ball game up with her first points. 6:12 on the clock, 2-all. Bringing the ball down the floor. Western Hills continuing to try to move. That's Christine Ayers. Ayers nearly loses a handle on it, but goes and retrieves the ball It's in back across to Mitchell. Mitchell slowly trying to go across. As she does, so try to pass it over to Waddell, and as she does, Hudgens strips her from it and gets fouled from behind. That'll be Waddell's first, team second. Hudgens will take it out around center court. Harrison County tied with Western Hills at 2-all. 5:54 here in the first quarter of play. Looking a hand to Linville. Linville will hand off to Hudgens. Hudgens top of the key, puts up a three-pointer, no good. Campbell goes and gets a long rebound. Gets it back out front. The Wolverines Mitchell bringing the ball down the floor on the right side. Custer tried to pick her up. She'll get away from Custer, goes baseline, and it's in there about 5 white jerseys, and Van Hook just strips her of the ball. Trying to get it down the floor. Continue to try to move, looking to bounce pass inside to Kinney. Brooke Kinney puts it up and in. Harrison County takes the first lead at 5:23 here in the opening quarter. Looking to go right. And the Wolverines, Ayers. Ayers back out front. Continue to try to move. It's a Mayhay, and we got a whistle. This one against Western Hills as well. And this will be against Mayhay, and that's her first. 4-2, 5:09 left to play here in the first quarter. Western Hills will go to their bench for the first time tonight, bringing freshman Aubrey Perkins. Perkins, a 5'9" guard. Averages 6.7 points on the season. Bailey Hudgens goes down the lane, puts it up, no good. Volleyed around, out of bounds, called off of Brooke Kenny, Western Hills ball. Like good neighbors, Joe Cochran and State Farm are there for you. Get a new home or auto quote from Joe and his team by calling 859-234-3813. Joe Cochran and State Farm right there on Main Street. Bringing the ball down the floor. Western Hills, the Wolverines looking to move the ball around. They put up the shot, and the shot goes up and in, and that's Perkins' first. She'll tie the game at 4-all. Custer bringing the ball down on the right side. Keeley gives it up to Brooke Kinney. Long three-pointer from the right wing. She'll kiss it off the glass, up and in for three, and that is a Canup three-pointer. Her fifth point of the night, and the Phillies go up by 3. It's 7-4, the biggest lead for the Phillies here. Waddell goes, and she'll see Kinney strip her the ball. Perkins comes back to get her. As Kinney goes up with it, Perkins gets her from behind, and that's her first, team's fourth. And Brooke was in the middle of shooting. Had a good night the other night over Bracken County at the free throw line. Senior with a couple of dribbles. She'll have 2. Puts it not able to make it fall. Brooke 10 for 19. Make her 10 for 20. She'll have another. And bounces in there. Brooke Kinney already has 6 points. She's double her average for the season already. 8-4, Phillies up by 4. Mitchell bringing the ball down. Waddell hands it to Keelan Davis. Davis checked in during that dead ball. And the shot put up, no good. Keeley Custer out with it. Brooke Kinney now down the floor. Davis, a 5'6" junior. Looking inside, bounce pass to Linville. Linville back out to Hudgens. Hudgens launches from the left wing, no good. And Kinney tries to come down with it. She was standing on the line and will turn the ball over. Dakota Wilder will check in. She's a 5'5" freshman. Wilder averaging 3.8 points. This Western Hills team, very deep ball club. We're going to see a lot of kids on the floor tonight. Davis on the left side. Wilder from the left corner puts up a long three-pointer, too hard, bounces around, and coming out with the rebound is Sarah Ayers. Ayers, a sophomore, continues to move the ball around. Ayers looking to go inside. Well, this time hand off to Wilder. Wilder puts up a shot, no good. Van Hook out with the rebound. Philly's going to try and we'll get it out of there. Caroline looking to go coast to coast, gives it away to Custer. Custer goes up and in for 2. Harrison County up 10-4. 3:06 left to play. Timeout called. 30-second timeout, which will give us a chance to tell you about Snappy Tomato Pizza. Don't forget the Snappy Tomato Pizza not only has pizza, especially that beef pizza, but they have great salads, sandwiches, and a whole lot more. It's Snappy Tomato Pizza. You can give them a call tonight, 235-7627, 235-SNAP. There you go. I think your mom may have been better the other night, though. You got to put more enthusiasm. Okay. 2-3-5, snap, snappy tomato pizza. Allowing us to be with you here tonight. Well, Western Hills jumped out very quickly with an early lead, but the Fillies have been able not only to bounce back, but have taken their biggest lead of the night. It's 6 points here, with 3:06 left to play in the first quarter. And to remind you, stay with us at halftime. We'll have the Joe Cochran State Farm Insurance halftime report. Ball put back into play, bringing the ball down in a hurry is Davis. Davis looking to the right side, we should find Ayers. Ayers brings it back out. Van Hook gets her to, well, I thought to get her to pick up her dribble. They tried to go to Campbell. Ball knocked out of bounds. They're going to stay off of Van Hook, so it will remain Western Hills ball. Lady Wolverines trailing by 6, 2:48 here in the first quarter. And she'll throw it in. Continue to try to move. That's Wilder. Wilder looking to the right side, which she'll give it to Davis. Custard hanging right with her. Davis will pick up her dribble. Get it back in the hands of Wilder. Dakota Wilder looking to the left side. Hudgens staying with her. Looks to the left. Down in the left corner is where she'll find Ayers. Sarah Ayers will now go back to the top of the key and will go to the right side. I'll hand off to Davis. Davis looks to go to the left side, and she'll go up, and if she does, Linville's going to get her. And that'll be Katie's second.
Number 34, Katie Linville, her first.
Her first, rather.
At the line for Western Hills, number 30, Davis.
Oh, okay. Katie's first. Puts Davis at the line, a couple of dribbles up and in.
Game for Harrison County, number 42, Marley Toll.
Harrison County will go back to their bench, bring in Marley Toll. Toll, a freshman, averaging 1.2 points on the year. Davis taking her time. The junior puts it up in a little too hard, and Toll out with the rebound quickly. She'll hand off to Van Hook. Phillies up by 5 at 10-5. Cross court to Hudgens. Bailey about 15 feet out. Up, no, and nothing but basically green jerseys down there. And coming out with it that time will be Aubrey Perkins. Perkins looks to go down the floor. Van Hook tried to take the ball away and ends up knocking it out of bounds. Ball put back in Western Hills' hands. Western Hills gets the ball back into play. That's Christine Ayers. Goes up, and if she does, she'll be fouled. She doesn't hit the shot. And
Harrison fouls on 13.
Brooke Kenny will pick up her first, team second.
At the line for
Put Sarah Ayers at the line.
Yeah, Whitney Mitchell, shooting 2 shots.
Excuse me, Kiana Mitchell. Mitchell puts the first one up. Is that a 2 or a 21 at the line? Christina Ayers, it's a 21. Missed that other one. She'll miss that shot and actually misses both shots. And just quickly, as the ball comes down, Christina Ayers will pick up her second foul. Harrison County will take it over. They've been there for Farmers since 1916, and they're there for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Mike Farmish at 859-254-2741, 254-2741, or visit efarmcredit.com. Bringing the ball down is Van Hook. Van Hook on the left side, hands off to Custer. Custer looking to go to the left side to Hudgens. Long three-pointer. That's not Hudgens. That's Hayden Lunsford's checked in the ball game. Sophomore for Harrison County. And as I say that, Marley Toll will be whistled for her first foul. Team's third. 10-5, 126 here in the first quarter. That's what we have left. Harrison County leading the way. Davis bringing it down on the left side. She tries to go inside to Perkins. Van Hook strips her, goes coast to coast, up and in for 2. That's Caroline's first basket of the night. At the other end we go. Perkins goes up. Cannot get it to fall. Ball knocked around. Keely Custard comes out with it. And the freshman wants to run down on the right side as we hit the 1 minute mark. She'll hand off to Hudgens. Bailey looks up, then goes inside the lane. Lunsford now on the left corner. Up and in, and that's the come-up-law three-pointer. That's Lunsford's first basket of the ball game. Phillies up by 10 at 15-5. On the right side, that's Ayers. Ayers looking to go across the way. Wilder with a long three-pointer, misses everything. Ball knocked out of bounds, actually goes out of bounds on the shot. And we will see Harrison County take over. Custard has a seat, Toll has a seat as Linville and Kinney come back in. 41 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. That's Van Hook. Van Hook gets it into Hudgens. Bailey taking her time, coming across the line. As she comes across, she's picked up quickly by Mitchell. Mitchell hanging right with her. She'll get it away from Mitchell, goes up and cannot get it to fall. Another whistle, and that one against Western Hills. That's Perkins. That's second from Perkins. Comes the second Wolverine with 2. Bailey goes to the line, puts the first one up and in. She'll have another. Up and in. This is about as good as the Phillies have looked in the first quarter in any of their games this season. Western Hills bringing the ball down. Trying to move it, continuing to move the ball around. That's Mitchell. Linville staying with her, hands off to Perkins. Long three-pointer, no good. Ball knocked around. Harrison County tries to save it from going out, not able to do it. And with 7.7 seconds left, it'll be Wolverine ball. Campbell checking back in as Ayers has a seat. Christine Ayers, the senior, gets ready to throw the ball in under the Wolverine basket. She'll get it in to Wilder. Wilder back over to Ayers. Ayers being double teamed, throws it off of Hudgens' leg. And with 3.6 seconds left, Ayers will take it out directly in front of the Harrison County bench. Bench moving back just a little bit to give her a little extra room. 3.6 seconds is all we've got left here in the first quarter. Ball put in the back. Wolverines put a shot up that went off the side of the rim. No good. Van Hook out with the rebound, and first quarter's in the books. Harrison County looked about as well as they have looked in any quarter this season, but especially in the first one, as they lead 17-5 over Western Hills. We are going to step out. When we return, we'll have the second quarter of action. You'll listen to Harrison County Phillies basketball on WCYM. Here at the Hilltop as we get ready for the second quarter. Being brought to you tonight, as we'll remind you, by Cynthiana Tire, Ag Credit, Unity Christian Church, Angelo's Pizza, Sora Home Medical, Van Hook Hardware, Poindexter Lumber, Primo Smiles, Harrison Memorial Hospital, Southern States, Edward Jones, Hinton Mills, Bluegrass Stockyards, your Cynthiana Hardee's, Canup Law, Joe Cochran and your State Farm team, Judy Construction, Snappy Tomato Pizza, Farm Credit of Mid-America, and Kentucky Farm Bureau. All great folks allowing us to have Harrison County Sports on WCYM. Remind you that after the ball game, we will not only be joined by Coach Watson, we'll also have the Judy Construction Player of the Game and take a look at the numbers, all that coming up during the postgame. We got a long way to go, though, before that. Western Hills will turn the ball over to begin the second quarter. Harrison County with it. Van Hook out front. She'll bounce past to Custard. She's joined by Linville, Lunsford, and Kinney out there for Harrison County. It's Custer, goes down the lane, kisses it off the glass, up and in for 2. That's her 4th point. The other end we go. That's Davis way down the floor to Wilder. Actually, that's Mitchell, rather. Mitchell will throw the ball away. Harrison County will return the favor and throw the ball away. Perkins out there, along with Christina Ayers. They are also joined by Denise Waddell, as well as Mayhay and Perkins. That's Ayers. Ayers will pick up a dribble, gets it back out front. Long three-pointer and kisses it off the glass that time. That's Kiana Mitchell. Mitchell's first basket of the night. Phillies still up by 11 at 19-8. Continuing to try to move. Van Hook bringing the ball down the floor. Gives it over to Lunsford. Lunsford goes up with it. Cannot get it to fall. Got bodies all over the floor. Hayden comes out with the rebound. Kicks it out to Custer. Long three-pointer, no good. Perkins out with the rebound, and here come the Wolverines. Ayers bringing the ball down across the timeline. Gives it across to Waddell. Continue to try to move. Mayhay barreled her shoulder and knocked over Brooke Kinney. Brooke picking up the charge. Her second.
Western Hills fouls on number 0, Lauren McGahee, her third.
Get ready to get the ball back into play here in just a matter of moments. Van Hook will have a seat. Bailey Hudgens trying to get the ball into play. She'll get it into Kinney's hands. Hudgens slowly coming down. On the right side, Bailey looks to go down, goes around. Campbell up and in for two. Nice job of Bailey Hudgens. Her fourth point. 21-8. Ayers bringing the ball down. Lunsford will pick her up. Out front, continue to move. That's Waddell. Waddell on the left side will give the ball away. This time to Mitchell. Mitchell went into Campbell. Campbell puts it up, no good. Ball fought for. Mitchell out with it, goes up and can't get it to fall in, but is fouled as she goes up. Whistle against Harrison County. And that's against Linville, and that's Katie's third. Or second. Second, rather. Puts Kiana Mitchell at the line. Mitchell's first trip there tonight. A little too hard off the back of the rim. Marley Tull will come in for Katie Linville for Harrison County. Mitchell 11 for 19 at the line this year, and will hit 50% here. If she misses the first one, hits the second one. Harrison County still leading 21-9. 5:52 left here at the first half. Ball put back into play. Bailey Hudgens looking to bring the ball down on the right side. Continue to try to move from around the top of the key. She looks to go inside. A bounce pass to Custer. Custer now goes in the lane over the top of Campbell. Up and in for two. Her sixth point of the night. 23-9. Harrison County with the lead. On the right side, that's Mitchell. Will go into Campbell. Campbell pushes Lunsford out of the way and puts the ball in the hole. Campbell's first basket. Yeah, in we go. Harrison County will throw it into Hayden Lunsford. All of a sudden, Western Hills going full court here. Bringing the ball down to Mitchell on top, and we'll get it to Custer. Custer about 15 feet out, a little too hard. Brooke comes up with it, gets the rebound, up and in for two, and is fouled on the way to the basket. And the whistle against Wilder. That'll be Wilder's first. Team seventh. That's going to get Wilder a seat as Sarah Ayers comes in, the sophomore. With that, Brooke will go to the line trying to make this old three-point play here. And bounces everywhere but in. Custer rebounds up, no. And out with the rebound that time. And coming out with is Mitchell. Mitchell brings the ball down to the left side, goes around the Harrison County defense, and as she does, it's knocked out from behind. It'll be Western Hills ball. Caroline Van Hook back in for Harrison County as Hayden Lunsford has a seat.
Harrison County, 22, Caroline Van Hook.
Ayers will take it out under the Wolverine basket. Back out. Wolverines to Sarah Ayers. Continue to move to Mitchell. Mitchell looking to go baseline. Bring the ball out. And if she does, we got a whistle and ball being kicked that time by Harrison County, so will remain Wolverine ball. Christine Ayers looking to get the ball, trying to back into play. She'll get it out front to Mitchell. Mitchell from the right wing, a little too hard as she launches. No good. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Harrison County. Western Hill ball. Trying to get the ball back into play. To go to Campbell. She'll fling it up and puts it up and in for two. Her fourth point. Your Cynthiana Hardys want you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. US 27 South. The Cynthiana made from scratch biscuits, never frozen burgers, and many other great options out at your Cynthiana Hardys. Long three-pointer put up by Harrison County. Cannot get it to fall. Western Hills comes out with it. For Cynthiana Hardys, we mentioned brought us our pregame tonight, and also reminds you about your Cynthiana Hardys that they serve breakfast till noon on the weekends. Took advantage of that again yesterday. Continuing to try to move. The Hudgens will bring the ball down the floor. On the right side to find Custer. Coming up on the halfway mark of the second quarter. 25-13, Harrison County with the lead. Van Hook, Custer to Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens long three-pointer, a little too hard. Ball knocked around. Campbell out with the rebound. She'll kick it to Mitchell. Mitchell immediately hands off to Waddell. Waddell comes down on the right side. Will give the ball away. Western Hills continue to try to move. Goes into Ayers, and as she does, Van Hook a little too hard. Will pick up the foul, her first. Her second, rather. Hayden Lunsford will come in for Harrison County. Wolverines also going to their bench. And bringing in Sarah Ayers. Aubrey Perkins trying, and will get it back up front to Ayers. Ayers looks to go down the wing, puts it up, and no. And Toll just comes down with authority. And she came in for Linville a moment ago. Brooke Kinney with it. And she's called for the travel, and with the turnover, we'll put the ball back into Wolverines' hands. If you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you may find yourself in. Visit CanupLaw.com. Got Brian up here working tonight, taking pictures. Long, wild-looking shot put up that time by Waddell. She cannot get it to fall, and out of bounds it'll go, and Harrison County will take over. 3:23 left to play in the first half. Stay with us, of course. We'll have our halftime report. Joe Cochran State Farm halftime report coming up. Hudgens looking inside. She'll find Lunsford up and in for two. Nice job that time by both Lunsford and Hudgens. Back in the way. Perkins down on the left side. Will go back out front. Try to move the ball around. She'll do just that. Gets it to Sarah Ayers, and the shot put up and in. And that's Campbell doing the damage. Her 6th point of the quarter. 27-15. Harrison County up by 12. Bounce pass into Toe. Campbell intercepts. She'll hand off to Ayers. Ayers wanted to run. Harrison County's got numbers, and Campbell comes trailing, puts it up and in for two. I don't know. Campbell just kind of running loose out here in the second quarter. Bring the ball down the floor is Custer. Keeley looking to go down the right side, inside to Toll. Toll, right, left, goes up. Campbell gets a hand on it. Ball continues to be fought for, and the ball loose off of Harrison County, and it'll be Western Hill ball.
In the game for Harrison County, 45, Savannah Kennedy.
The 8th grader Savannah Kennedy will come in for Marley Toll. Toll limping a little bit. She's had a little tough time with that right ankle. Ball being put back into play. Harrison still up by 10 with 2:13 left to play in the first half. And bringing the ball down is Waddell. Waddell to Perkins. Perkins goes inside, runs over the top of Lunsford, and she'll call for the charge. And with my numbers, that may be her 3rd foul.
Western Hills foul is number 10. Aubrey Perkins, her 3rd.
It will be. That also put Harrison County in the double bonus from here on out. Bringing the ball down the floor. Custer picks up her dribble in the lane, gives way to Bailey Hudgens. Long three-pointer from the left corner wing, and that's a Canup Law three-pointer. Phillies back up by 13, 30-17 on the right side. That's Ayers. Ayers throws the ball away. Harrison County ball. Dakota Wilder, the freshman, will check back in for Western Hills. Western Hills still in their full court defense. Harrison tries to get the ball in. Ball thrown away. That's Sarah Ayers. Goes up and in for two. Her first bucket of the night. Back into play. Kennedy gets it to Custer. Custer goes down the floor. Pulls up from around the free throw stripe. Kisses it off the glass for two. Her 8th point. 32-19. 1:25 left to play. Bring the ball down the floor. Denise Waddell. Waddell out front. Top of the key on the right side. Looking inside to Campbell. Campbell pushes back. The Harrison County defense goes up with it. No. Continues to try. Puts it up again. Her 10th point of the quarter and had 4 shots that time. You can't do that. Bringing the ball down the floor. Hudgens, Bailey bringing the, as we hit the 1 minute mark. Bailey goes up in the glass, up and in for 2. Nice job. Waddell brings it down. We're under a minute. Long 3-pointer put up, but Wilder no good. Out with the rebound that time is Lunsford. Lunsford to Kenny. Kenny gets it down to Custer. Custer leading everybody down. Goes up and in for 2 and is fouled on the way to the basket. She's heading to the free throw line, and let's see who this was on. Going to foul that one on Sarah Ayers, and that's her first. And Christine Ayers will come in. Be the first trip Keeley's been there tonight. Also checking in for the first time is Elizabeth Judy. Judy, a 5'7" junior, wears the number 32 for Western Hills. Custard with 10 points, make that 11, and she'll sink it home. 37-21. I think Harrison County with the biggest lead they have had this season. Out front, continuing to move the ball is Dakota Wilder. Wilder looking inside, little give and go, goes up and in for 2. Nice job by Western Hills. Her first point. Harrison County tries, and we'll get it into Custard. Custard has Christina Ayers on top of her. She'll give it up to Lunsford. Lunsford across the timeline, 14 seconds. She'll put up a wild shot, not able to get it to fall. And now with the rebound that time come the Wolverines, going coast to coast. And they'll go on in and doing the damage that time, Western Hills, that's Kiana Mitchell. And it's going to be against Bailey Hudgens, and that's her first. Mitchell will go to the line, trying to pick up a 3 points here. Has 6 points overall here, all coming in the quarter. 37-25, Phillies up by 12. Official having a discussion with Hayden Lunsford right now. Now he's having a show or something to say with Coach Watson. And whatever it was, everything is said and done. We'll get everybody where they need to go and get this game back underway. Mitchell, a couple of dribbles. And Mitchell puts it in. But saying that, Hayden did break the plane that time. They really should put it back at the free throw line. But they're going to allow her to have the point here. 5 seconds. Bringing the ball down the floor is Bailey Hudgens. Bailey goes up, gets tangled up with the defense. And gets tangled up with Elizabeth Judy, and that'll be Judy's first. And Bailey Hudgens is going to the line. Bailey 2 for 2 there tonight. Buries it. She'll have another. Savannah Kennedy will check back in for Caroline Van Hook. Officials talking to the scorers keeper. And gets ready for another. Little too hard, and that's the way the half will come to an end. Harrison County with a 12-point lead here at halftime, 38-26. Stay with us. We will have the Joe Cochran State Farm Insurance halftime report. We'll take a look how the numbers break down. We'll also take a look at a few other things, the schedules as well, all coming up here at the half. Harrison County leading the way, 38-26 at the half. You're listening to Harrison County Phillies basketball on WCYN.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward. And with a little help from Maysville Community and Technical College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more. In less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Here at the halftime, there's a halftime being brought to you tonight by Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance. Joe Cochran, State Farm Insurance. Anytime you need a home or auto quote, give Joe and his team a call at 859-234-3813. Joe Cochran and State Farm, proud supporters of Harrison County sports. Well, we do have a report from Western Hills on the boys' action. Sees the Breds leading the Wolverines 36-29 here at the half. 36-29 at the half. Harrison County leading Western Hills. So we mentioned this is opening round play of this year's 2A tournament, where the winner will advance on, but saying that, next round isn't until sometime in January. And we'll see. On the girls' side of things, it'll be here at the Hilltop, regardless of who advances on. On January 6th and 7th, I believe. But anyway, saying that, the other teams that will possibly be here that will include Lexington Catholic, Boyle County, and Mercer County have all punched their tickets to be here that week. So we'll see who plays their way here out of tonight's matchup. Well, as we mentioned, we saw Western Hills jump out quickly, and Harrison County not only bounced back, but have been able to take a lead and really had a very big first quarter. It was about as well as they have looked in any quarter this season, winning that first quarter 17-5, but second quarter, both teams scoring 21 respectively, and that is the way we are here at the half. As far as individual numbers go, for the Lady Wolverines, they put one player in double figures, that being Mayla Campbell. Campbell with 10 points, all coming inside in that second quarter to count for her 10 points. The rest of the scoring, we saw Kiana Mitchell. Mitchell was 7, including one big three-pointer and 2 for 3 at the line. Those all coming in that second quarter. We also saw Christina Ayers. Ayers with 2 points, going 0 for 2 at the line in the first half. Keelan Davis. Davis 1 point, 1 for 2 at the free throw stripe. 2 points for Aubrey Perkins. Perkins, that was coming in the first quarter. Sakota Wilder with a couple of points, that coming in the second. And Sarah Ayers with 2 points. That is the way they scored their 26 points. As far as Harrison County, they've got 2 players in double figures. That being Keelan Custer. Custer with 11 points. And 9 of those 11 coming in the second quarter here tonight. And going 1 for 1 at the line. Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens has 10 points as a big three-pointer. She is 3 for 4 at the free throw line to help count for her 10 points. Katie Linville. Linville has 2 points. Those coming in the first quarter. She's had a lot of the first half in fouls trouble. Brooke Kinney. Brooke having a big first quarter, putting 6 points on the board. Has 8 overall, 1 for 2 at the strike. Caroline Van Hook has 2 points coming in the first quarter. And Hayden Lunsford with 5 points, including 1 big three-pointer in the first quarter. That is the way the Phillies scored their 38 points. As we mentioned, Harrison County has led the majority of the night. We'll see if they can put a second half. We've seen the last couple of times the Phillies come out and be able to do what they needed to do in the second half. They've had a better second half the last several games than they did in the first half. And we'll see if they can continue that streak and have a better second half here tonight as well. Our halftime report, as we mentioned, being brought to you by Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance. Get a new home or auto quote by calling Joe and his team at 859-234-3813. Joe Cochran and State Farm. Well, as we take a look as far as other schedules look, first, for the Harrison County Thoroughbreds, as we mentioned, they're at Western Hills tonight in opening round of the 2A tournament over there. And they're leading in half, 36-29 over the Wolverines. After tonight, the Breds will be back in action this coming week as the Birds will be making the long trip to Marshall County, about as far west as you can go, to participate in the Marshall County Hoop Fest. They will be in action on Thursday at 12:30. They'll take on a team out of Tennessee, Camden Central. We'll have the game, of course, on WCYN's radio side of things. Then on Thursday night, they take on the home school, Marshall County, at 8:30. That will be also on the radio side. Then on Friday at 1 o'clock, they will take on a team out of Florida. That is the way that their first half will come to an end. They'll be back in action in January 10th. They're not back here to the Hilltop until January 17th with the date with Bracken County. So a long time before you see the Birds back here at the Hilltop. As far as this Western Hill Ball Club goes, the Lady Wolverines after tonight, so we take a look at their schedule, they will have a date with presentation on the 21st. That's be coming up on Wednesday. They will then follow that on Thursday against Butler County and on Friday against Thomas Nelson at the Don Franklin Chevy Christmas Classic. I'm not sure where that's being played, but that's who they'll be taking on. And then after Christmas, they've got a date with Scott County over at Western Hills. Actually, it'll be the first of 4 home games for them. The Fillies after tonight, Harrison County back in action on Wednesday as they will be making the trip to Bishop Rossers as they get back into region play to take on the Lady Stangs. At 7:30. That game, of course, will be on WCYN Radio. Jim will be back with the call with that one on a Wednesday night. And then after Christmas, they'll be making a trip next week to take on Bourbon County as a part of their tournament. And that bracket, so let me find that bracket here for you. Well, I know they play Lyon County on the first day of action. It's a 3-game tournament over at Bourbon. And, well, take my word for it. They're playing Lyon County sometime next week as part of the Bourbon County tournament. Well, we're inching our way closer to get the second half underway. The Fillies leading 38-26 at the half. Both clubs doing a little bit more warm-up before we start the second half of play. Your halftime report tonight has been brought to you by Joe Cochran and his State Farm team right there on Main Street. Get a new home or auto quote by calling Joe at 859-234-3813. Joe Cochran and State Farm. Harrison County with 2 players in double figures here in the first half. Let's see if they can continue to make the noise. Mentioned a nice crowd on hand here for this chilly Monday night. Yes. So you heading up? They're back in second half action, boys.
Boys are 43-33.
Yelling.
43-33, boys.
Okay, so they're back in second half action. So 10-point lead for the Breads down at Western Hills. No, they were leading at the half. They've been able to add to that total. 38-26. Both clubs trying to advance on. The 2A tournaments, we mentioned, of course, if you're able to win your section, you make your way to the state tournament down in Owensboro. This Fillies ball club doing just that not too long ago. I would like to make another trip to Owensboro. Harrison County will start the second half with the ball. Caroline Van Hook throwing it in around half court. Van Hook out there along with Bailey Hudgens, Brooke Kenny, Katie Linville, and Keely Custard out there for the Fillies. We'll get you the Western Hills lineup here in just a matter of moments. Kiana Mitchell out there. She is joined by Denise Waddle. Also out there, Mila Campbell, Christine Ayers. Long shot put up by Custer, no good, and ball fought for. Custer comes out with it. Tries to go to Linville, and she does. The Wolverines will get a hand on it. Lauren Mayhay, the other member of the team out there for the Wolverines. Hudgens will take it out into the Harrison County basket. They'll get it to Van Hook, 10 feet out, up and in for two. Van Hook's fourth point on the night, 40-26 to begin the second half. 7:28 left to play in the third quarter. Waddle went to go left. As she did, she'll palm the ball, and with the turnover, ball put back in the hands of Harrison County. It may be difficult to understand everything your teenager says, but Dustin Rose and Amy Davis can tell you what they're saying, or at least about insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Give them a call. 859-234-4514. 234-4514, Kentucky Farm Bureau. Getting the ball back into play. Brooke Kinney out front to Custer. Custer looking to bounce pass out front to Linville. Linville tries to go to Hudgens, and as she does, gets it into the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell comes down. Looked like she was hit from behind. Official's not saying anything. Ball brought down. Vano goes up, and as she does, gets it out to Custer. Custer down the right wing, brings it back up front, hands off to Hudgens. Bailey looking to go to her right. She'll launch from the right wing, a little too hard, rolls in and back out, and now with it's Mayhay. Mayhay sitting a lot of that first half with 2 fouls. On the right side, Waddle will bring the ball down, and as she does, she's called for the travel. Turnover. Harrison County ball. (40-26). Ball put back into play. Van Hook. Van Hook being guarded very closely by Christina Ayers. Looking to the right side, goes down the lane, tries to go inside to Brooke Kinney, and as she does, it'll end up out of bounds off of Fillies. Lady Wolverines will take over. Kaylin Davis, 5'6" junior, checks in for the Wolverines. As Denise Waddell will have a seat. Putting the shot up, the Wolverines not able to get it to fall. That time was Davis. Van Hook out with the rebound. Bringing the ball down the floor is Custer. Custer, long three-pointer from the left side. No good. Ball fought for, and Van Hook powers her way down with it. Tries to go back up, and she does. The Wolverines come out and throw the ball away. Kenny picks it up, gets it to Hudgens. Long three-pointer, and that's a Knupplau three-pointer. Bailey's 13th point of the night, her second three-pointer of the ball game, puts the Phillies up 43-26. Campbell back out front. Ayers will look to answer from the right side, and she'll do just that. Her first three-pointer of the ball game. 5 points for Christina Ayers. And the other end we go quickly. Hudgens tries to go up. Ends up in Linville's hands. Back to Van Hook. Goes to Custer. Kenny underneath. One dribble out front to Custer. Custer looking to go to the left side. Keeley being guarded very closely. Gets bumped pretty hard. And it'll end up out of bounds. That time by off of Davis. And we've got all kinds of changes coming in for the Wolverines. Dakota Wilder will check in. Also checking in, Sarah Ayers. And the final member will be Aubrey Perkins. Ball put to Linville. Linville hands off to Hudgens. Hudgens goes to the right side to Van Hook. Van Hook puts it up and in for two. Foot on the line that time. That's Caroline's 6 point. Timeout called by Harrison County. 45-29. Phillies up by 16. Their biggest lead they've had at 5:07 here in the third quarter. Give us a chance to tell you about Snappy Tomato Pizza. You know about their Beast Pizza, but don't forget about Snappy's great salads and sandwiches. Makes you hungry, doesn't it? 235-7627. That's 235.
Snap.
There you go. That was much better this half.
Thank you.
Snappy Tomato Pizza. Open, could feed you tonight. Stay with us. We'll, of course, after the ball game, have a post-game report. We'll be joined by Coach Watson. Also, named the Judy Construction Player of the Game, and take a look at the numbers breakdown. All that coming up during the post-game. 5:07 left to play here in the third quarter. 45-29. Harrison County with the lead, and bringing the ball down is Dakota Wilder. The freshman comes across the timeline, looking to the right side. Double teamed by a couple of Phillies, pushing her way out. Ball loose, rolls around, stays in. Custer takes it away on her knees, gets it back to Van Hook. Caroline brings the ball down, tries to go around Ayers and cannot get it to fall. Perkins out with the rebound, and here come the Lady Wolverines. Back to Sarah Ayers. Ayers looking to bring it down the floor. Getting a hand on its Van Hook, but ends up in Davis's hands. Davis goes up, and as she does, she's fouled. And let's see who this is on. 2 or 3 white jerseys around. 34, and that's Katie Linville. And if that is, that's her fourth. Her third. I've given her one too many. She's got 3. Puts Davis at the line. She is, we'll have 2 shots coming to her. She is 1 for 2 there tonight. Make her 2 for 3 as that one goes in. Marley Toll in for Katie Linville for Harrison County. She'll have a second. 45-30, Phillies up by 15 with 4:36 left to play here in the third quarter. Up and in. Caroline Van Hook trying to get it in. Wolverines remaining in their full court defense, having trouble. Finally gets it into Custard. Custard back to Van Hook. The Phillies bringing the ball down the floor. Caroline gets picked up by Davis as she comes across the timeline, and Davis gets whistled for the foul. There's a little bit about a little part of the body contact. Hudgens will take it out between the scorers table and the Harrison County bench. Bailey gets it in to Toll. Toll back to Hudgens. Hudgens, a wild-looking shot. And she tries to put it up. It'll be knocked out of bounds. They'll call it off for Western Hills. Not a wise choice that time. 45-31, 4:23 left to play here in the third quarter. Trying to get the ball back into play. Custard off the glass for 2. 13 points for Keeley. 47-31. Bring the ball down to Wilder. Wilder will turn the... Actually, we'll have a foul against Perkins. An offensive foul. That's Perkins's. Harrison County will take it out around center court. I think it's Perkins' 4th, but not at any official call. And it will be. She'll have a seat. Ball put back into play. Van Hook hands it off to Hudgens. Bailey thinks about three-pointer. Hands it off to Custer. Custer goes to Hudgens. Hudgens around center court. Looking to the left. Marley Toe. Toe looking inside to Van Hook. Van Hook gets double teamed back out to Toe from the right wing. It's to Hudgens. Bailey goes down. Bailey goes up and can get it to fall. And out with it will be Campbell. Campbell continues to try to move. Gets it down the floor to Mitchell. Mitchell goes inside. Gets stripped by Van Hook. And Van Hook looking to bring the ball across the court to Kinney. Brooke comes up. Goes off the glass. No good. Out with the rebounds Toe. Toe gets tangled up with Campbell. And I think Campbell's going to get her from behind. And nope, they're going to whistle. They're going to give it on Davis. That's her second. I thought Campbell got her, but Davis gets a whistle for the foul that time. Puts Marley Toe at the line. Toe's first trip there tonight. Little too hard, she'll have another. Hayden Lunsford coming in for Harrison County. Lauren Mayhay checks back in by Denise Waddell for the Wolverines. Davis also out there. Mitchell and Campbell for the Lady Wolverines. 3:27 left to play in the third quarter. Toll with her second free throw shot. Little too hard, rolls out. Campbell just goes over the top of Kinney and takes it away. That was an over the back. Bringing the ball down the floor, putting it up and in for 2 is Mitchell. Nicely done. Going to the end of the floor. Wolverines take it away. Mayhay goes up with it, as she does. Not able to get it to fall. Coming out with it that time is Mitchell. Mitchell goes up. It's fouled by Harrison County. That'll be Caroline Van Hook's third foul. And this will put Mitchell at the line. She was 2 for 3 there tonight. Has 9 points overall. Up and in. She'll have another. Hudgens in for Van Hook. They've been here for farmers since 1916, and they're here for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Call Mike Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit them at efarmcredit.com. Farm Credit Mid-America. Mitchell gets ready for her next shot. Up and in. 47-35. Phillies are still up by 12 with 3:09 left to play. Hudgens trying to get into the play, and we'll get it to Toe. Marley comes up with it, goes back to Custer. Western Hills putting a full court defense, doing a nice job that time. Phillies get it across the line. Bailey looking to go inside with the 4 green jerseys with her. Finally gives it to Custer. Kenny just launches from the right side. Not quite far enough. It goes out of bounds. Western Hill ball. 2:57 left to play here in the third quarter. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran and the State Farm team are there for you. Get a new home or auto quote by calling Joe at 859-234-3813. State Farm and Joe Cochran. Bringing the ball down the floor, putting up a shot is Mitchell, and she's fouled on the way to the basket, and that's against Brooke Kenny. That's Brooks, her second. Team third of the half, and that puts Mitchell at the line. She is 4 for 5 there. Has 11 points overall. Braves leading 49-41 after 3 quarters over Western Hills, at Western Hills. Up and in. They can hang on. They would advance on to the next round of the Section 5 2A tournament, which will be semifinal play. Assume at Western Hills. And cannot get that to fall. Marley out with the rebound. Toe coming down. One dribble will go to Hudgens. Bailey tries to get it across the line. Still having trouble. Mitchell hanging with her. Still trying to get it across the line. She needs to move. Finally does get it across. And she looks to attack. Goes up and she is stripped just like that by Davis. The other end we go. That's Mayhay. Goes coast to coast. Up and in for 2. Her first bucket of the ball game. 48-35. Phillies up by 13. Timeout on the floor. 2:22 left to play here in the third quarter. To 38. 10-point lead. Now there's a question at the scorer's table. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As we continue on. 47-38, so they were off a point on the Harrison County side. As Western Hills winning this quarter 12-9 as far as quarter scoring goes. 47-38, 2:22. Hudgens trying to get it in. Bailey will find Custer. Custer trying to get it, Hudgens rather, trying to get it down the floor, and if she does, she'll get bumped. And probably against Davis, and it will be. That's her third. Harrison County will take it out into their own bench. Van Hook coming in quickly. And Brooke Kenny will have a seat. 2:17 left to play. 47-38. Harrison County has led by as many as 16. They're up by 9 at the moment. Tries to go into toe, and as they do, ball knocked out of bounds that time by Mayhay. Harrison County will keep the ball as Hudgens tries to get it in under the Phillies basket. She'll find Custer. Custer from the right corner, a little too hard, no good. Ball fought for, continues to roll around. Van Hook with 3 green jerseys around it comes out when it goes up, and Campbell comes down with authority. Harrison County's Van Hook knocks it out of bounds, and it will be Western Hill ball. Brooke Kenny back in for Van Hook. Denise Waddell brings the ball down on the right side. Gives it to Davis. Davis to Campbell, about 18 feet out, rolls in and back out. Out with it's Hudgens. Bailey bringing it down as we go under 2 minutes. Bailey looking to go to the right side. And goes to her left. Couple of dribbles. She'll find Kenny from the left corner, and that's a Knupflaw three-pointer. Brooks' second three-pointer of the ball game gives her 11 points on the night. Phillies up 50-38. We quickly approach 90 seconds. Bringing the ball down to Mitchell. Mitchell looking to attack, and if she does, she'll get fouled. And let's see who this is on. There's about 3 white jerseys around her. I'm going to give that against Brooke Kenny. That'll be Brooks' third. Checking back in for the Wolverines, Sarah Ayers. As Davis has a seat. Timeout called on the floor. Wolverines calling the timeout. So we'll keep it right, obviously keep it right here. Harrison County trying to continue with this lead as they lead 50-38 with a minute 29 left here in the third quarter. Harrison County 12 points here in the quarter. Well, actually both clubs are 12 points here in the quarter. As we mentioned, the last report we had, the Reds were winning at the end of 3. Western Hills have kind of cut into that lead, but Reds have led, still leading over at Western Hills. Phillies back in action on Wednesday night. We'll be on the radio side of things for that one. As we'll be making a trip to Bishop Brossard. Never an easy place to play up at Bishop Brossard. Straight up 27 there. Home of this year's regional volleyball tournament. Reds doing a nice job last week up at Brossard, picking up the big win. See if the Phillies can match him on Wednesday. Ball put back into play. Ayers will find Waddell. Puts up a long three-pointer. No good. Hudgens out with the rebound, and Bailey's wanting to run. He's going to slow things down, let everybody get down the floor, and then comes across. Is left alone. Long three-pointer. Not able to make it fall. Ball loose. Rolls around. Kenny comes down with it. Brooke called for the travel as she fell down with the ball. 1:12 left to play here in the third. Sarah Ayers trying to get the ball back into play. Finds Denise Waddell. Waddell way down the floor to Mitchell. Long three-pointer, no good. Ball fought for. Campbell just powers over everybody, knocks it back out. Waddell with it. Continue to try to move. Waddell gets it to Mitchell on the left wing. We go under a minute. Mitchell Looker picks up her dribble, gets it back to Mayhay. Mayhay runs over the top of her defender, and they're going to say nope, that was Tolm was moving. And that will be Marley's first, or second rather. And this will put Mayhay back at the line, or first trip actually there. I thought she went there earlier. Has 2 points overall. Mayhay puts up the first, and the left-hander buries it. Nice shot. She'll have another. Harrison County bringing Caroline Van Hook in for Lunsford. Campbell will have a seat as Christine Ayers comes in for the Wolverines. Also checking in, Dakota Wilder. Mayhay puts it up and in. Our 4th point of the night. 50-40, back to a 10-point lead. Hudgens gets it thrown in, saves it from going back out. Gets it back to Van Hook, who goes back to Hudgens. 40 seconds. Tries on hand off to Hudgens. Bailey looking to go to her right. Continuing to be hammered out there by Kiana Mitchell, and Mitchell's going to get a whistle for the foul. Mitchell's first. Harrison County will take it out. 50-40, 32.2 seconds left. Hudgens trying to get the ball back into play. She'll get it to Van Hook. Caroline will hand off to Hudgens. Hudgens on the left side to Custard. To Van Hook. Van Hook top of the key. Bringing it back out. 20 seconds. Hands off this time. Back to Custard. Harrison County looking for that last shot. 16 seconds. Back to Van Hook, and Van Hook gets fouled that time by Sarah Ayers, and that's her third. Hudgens will take it out between the scorer's table and the Harrison County bench. And got an offensive foul, this time against Van Hook, trying to get free, and that'll be her 4th. She'll have a seat. As Hayden Lunsford checks in, Campbell comes back in for Mayhay. So we won't see Caroline probably for quite a while with 12 seconds left here in the third with her 4 fouls. Wilder bringing the ball down the floor, 7 seconds. From right side, Sarah Ayers with a long three-pointer. She'll bury it. Nice shot. Her 5th point. And that is the way that the third quarter will come to an end. Harrison County still leading as they lead 50-43. 50-43 after 3. Stay with us. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up. We'll see if Harrison County can hang on to the lead as they lead at the moment. Stay with us. You're listening to Harrison County Fillies basketball on WCYN. Back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County leading the way, but Western Hills taking that third quarter 17-12. But Harrison County leading overall by a score of 50-43. See if they can hang on here. Ball getting ready to put back into play. And if they do advance on, they would play here back at the Hilltop in the next round, semifinal play in January. Christina Ayers gives it back to Wilder. Wilder around the top of the key. Sarah Ayers out there. Campbell all out there with Mitchell. Christina Ayers looks to go up and moves the handle on it and knocked out of bounds off of Harrison County. Western Hill ball. Ayers gets it back out front to Mitchell. Mitchell gets away with the travel, puts it up, no good. Ball knocked off of Western Hills. Harrison County ball. Brooke Kenny, Hayden Lunsford, Bailey Hudgens, Keely Custard, and Marley Toll out there for the Fillies. They're actually going to whistle there for a foul. I thought it was knocked out of bounds. Apparently not. That'll be Sarah Ayers fourth, and with that puts the Fillies in the bonus situation. So Brooke Kenny will walk to the other end of the floor. Brooke 1 for 2 there tonight. Let's have 11 points overall. 8 of those 11 coming in the first half. Had a big first half for Harrison County. 50-43, 7:39 left to play. Stay with us. We'll have a post-game report. We'll name the Judy Construction player of the game. Brooke puts it up and in. She'll have another. We'll also be joined by Coach Watson, as well as take a look at the numbers during the post-game report. 51-43, Harrison County looking to make it back to a 9-point lead if Kenny can hit that. Not able to do it. Lunsford out with it, goes up and in for 2. Nice job. That's her 7th point. Harrison County back up by 10 at 53-43. Western Hills throws the ball away. Hudgens comes down, gets it to Custer. Custer saves it from going out. We got bodies, we got the ball, and everybody flying out. They're going to call it off of Harrison County. And everybody but the officials out on the floor sliding out of the bounds that time. Katie Linville back in for Marley Toll for Harrison County. Ayers will throw into Wilder. Wilder bringing the ball down. Davis also back in the ball game for Western Hills. Ayers back out front. Wilder to Davis. Davis looks up, gets double team, picks up her dribble, continues to hold. We'll get it inside to Mayhay. Mayhay throwing some elbows, and she got caught that time. He's going to throw in a few elbows trying to clear out, and not able to do that. That's her third. Mayhay will have a seat. Aubrey Perkins checking back in. Oh, they're going to say Mayhay's fourth. Saying that, Perkins has 4 of herself. She'll become a couple of Wolverines in foul trouble. Back into Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens looking to go around the top of the key. Looking inside to Custer. Custer goes up and off the glass for 2. 15 points for Keeley. 55-43. Other end we go. Mitchell brings the ball down. Davis goes up and is fouled on the way to the basket. And that's going to put Davis at the line. And the foul against Hayden Lunsford. Her first. Her second. Apparently my foul situation and Dr. Faulkner's are entirely different. Keely Davis will go to the line. She's 3 for 4 there tonight to count for her 3 points. Up and in. She'll have another. 55-44. Phillies up by 11. A little too hard, and now with the rebound is Linville, and she gets tied up by both Perkins and Ayers, and the possession now belongs to Harrison County. Your Cynthiana Hardee's wants to feed you. Go out and visit them. They'll serve you breakfast, lunch, or dinner on US 27 South at Cynthiana. Your Cynthiana Hardee's. Ball put back into play. Custer gets it back down to Hudgens. To Linville. Linville is set the majority of the game in foul trouble. Begins to try to dribble her way in. She'll go to the left side where she'll find Lunsford. Long three-pointer, no good. Ball loose. Linville out with the rebound. Back to Lunsford. Lunsford out front to Custer. Custer to Hudgens, who's left alone. Puts up the shot. No good. Perkins out with the rebound, and she'll get it to Ayers. Christine Ayers looking to the right side. Gets tangled up with Custard out of bounds off of Keeley. And it'll be Western Hill ball. Waddell will check in. Mitchell will also come in. They're joining Davis, Campbell, and Perkins out there for Western Hills. Ball into Campbell. Campbell does what she's been doing all night. Powers her way up, misses a shot, but gets fouled from behind. That's on Brooke Kinney.
First foul's on 13, Brooke Kinney, her fourth team.
Kinney's fourth, and this will put Campbell at the line. There's 10 points, all those coming in the third or second quarter, up and in. She'll have another. Harrison County right now with Hudgens, Custard, Kinney, Linville, and Lunsford out there. Second one up and in. 55-46, back to a 9-point lead. It's 6:03 left to play. Getting the ball in will be Hudgens to Custard, back to Bailey. Bailey looking to bring down the floor. Davis will pick her up. Loses a handle on it, and it goes out of bounds. It should be Western Hill ball. But the official said it was off of Wolverines. They had a better view than I did, so it'll be Harrison County ball. Marley Toll coming back in. And she'll come in for Linville. 55-46. 5:57 left to play. Out front to Brooke Kinney. Kinney will get it back into Custer. Custer to Hudgens around center court. She's picked up by Davis. Looking to go to the right side. Davis hanging right with her. Goes to the left. Continuing to try to move. Little contact. Hudgens goes up. Puts up a wild shot. No good. Ball fought for. Kinney tries to come down with it. If she does, she'll get tied up with Davis. And possession arrow this time belonging in the hands of Western Hills. Sarah Ayers will come in for Davis. Perkins will throw it in. She'll find Waddell waiting to receive it. Sarah Ayers, Campbell, along with Mitchell out there for the Lady Wolverines. Phillies up by 9. Waddell looking inside. Gives it back to Ayers, who feeds Campbell up and in for 2. That's pretty much what we saw in the second quarter. We saw the Wolverines continue on and went away from it in the third. We got all kinds of contact away from the ball. And let's see who they're going to whistle this on, and the officials are going to talk about it. And they whistled against Sarah Ayers. And if that is, and that's her fifth. That's her fifth. She'll end the night with 5 points. And we'll walk to the other end of the floor and put Custard at the line. Custard been there for 1 and 1. She is 1 for 1 at the line so far tonight and has 15 points overall. Up and rolls back out. Ball fought for. A couple of bodies hitting the floor, and out of bounds it'll go. And this one called against Harrison County's Hayden Lunsford, her third. 55-48. We'll walk to the other end of the floor as Davis will go there for one of the bonus. 4 for 6 at the line tonight. The Wolverines a lot of credit. They have made a lot of noise at that start. Up and in. They'll have another. Caroline Van Hook will check back in with 4 fouls at the 5:11 mark as Lunsford has a seat. Mentioned Caroline came in the game with averaging a double-double, leading the team in both scoring and rebounds. Up and in. Back to a 5-point lead. The Phillies were up by as many as 16 tonight. As Bailey Hudgens tries to go down the floor, she does. Mitchell's going to get her. That'll be her second, and they're going to put Hudgens at the line, and they should put her at the line for a double bonus as a 10th team foul.
At the line for Harrison County, 23, Bailey Hudgens shooting 2 shots.
Up and in. They'll have another. Hayden Lunsford back in for Van Hook. Caroline's and Mitchell, those 4 fouls. They're going to have to watch her from here on out. Sophomore with a couple of dribbles. Up and in. Phillies back up by 7, 57-50. Timeout called by Harrison County. 57-50, we're in the 4th quarter. Harrison County has led the majority of the night. If you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you may be in. Visit them at canuplaw.com. We said Brian out here taking the pictures. The official photographer for WCYN has joined the cheerleading squad. He just does not look very peppy at the moment. 57-50, 5:06 to play here in the 4th quarter. Phillies leading the way. So we mentioned Harrison County back in action on Wednesday night. They make the trip to Bishop Brossard. We'll have that on the radio side of things on Wednesday evening. Ball put back into play. The Wolverines will see Waddell come down the floor. She's joined out there by Perkins, Davis, Mitchell, and Campbell. Back out front to Davis. Custard hanging with her. Kenny will pick her up. Toll, Lunsford, and Hudgens both out there. Long 3-pointer put up by the Wolverines. Not able to make it fall. Toll will knock it out of bounds as Mayhay comes back in for Campbell. Wolverines take it out into their own basket. 4:48 left to play. Out front, we'll find Davis. Davis goes up, and as she does, she'll be fouled, and let's see if this one's on. And they're going to whistle that one against Custer, and that's Custer's first. Chris Davis back at the line. She has done most of the damage here tonight at the free throw stripe. Up and in. She scored all 7 points at the free throw line tonight. Van Hook checks back in for Harrison County as Lunsford has a seat. 57-51. Bounces on in there. Van Hook tries to get it into Hudgens, and as she does, the ball knocked back out of bounds that time by Mitchell. It'll be Harrison County will continue to hold the ball. Hudgens will be throwing it in for the Phillies. Bailey gets the ball from the official and gets it into Keeley. Keeley gets bumped from behind, but still comes in with it. Hudgens tries to go to Kenny. Kenny had her back turned to her. Ball loose, rolls around on the floor. Tie-up called as Mayhay goes down with toe, and the possession arrow belonging to Harrison County. Katie Linville back in for Harrison County as Toll has a seat. Phillies with their 5 starters out on the floor at the moment. Hudgens trying to get the ball back into play. She'll go to Linville. Linville goes back to Hudgens. Bailey attacks, goes off the glass, up and in for 2. Her 17th point. And yet another sub for Western Hills. Dakota Wilder Hayden Lunsford will counter for Harrison County. As Van Hook has a seat. 4:30 left to play. 59-52. Phillies with the lead. Mayhay gets it back into Waddell's hands. Brings it across the timeline. Looking to the right side. Continue to hold the ball. That's Wilder. Looking inside. Mayhay not quite ready, but Perkins is able to go and retrieve it. Wilder gets it back, goes over Linville. Linville's going to bump her, and that's going to put Perkins at the line. And is that her fifth? Must be her fourth. It's her fourth. Puts Perkins at the line. Her first free throw shot of the night. She has 2 points overall. Make it 3. She'll bear it. Van Hook and Toll in for Linville and Lunsford. She'll have another one. Trying to make it cut into a 5-point lead. Perfect. Phillies up 59-54. Van Hook trying to get it in, having trouble. Tries to go to Kinney. Ball loose. Continues to be fought for. Out of bounds, and it's off of Harrison County Western Hill ball. Out of the 11 points that the Western Hills have scored in the fourth, 9 of them coming at the free throw line. On the flip side of that, Harrison County has been to the line 5 times here in the fourth quarter and hit 3 out of 5. Ball put back into play. Looking inside. Ayers goes around Toll, puts it up and in. That's Mayhay, rather. Back to as close as they have been since the first half. 3 points taken away. Perkins goes up. Custer takes it away from her. Harrison County trying to bring it down. They lead by 3. 3:47 left to play. Goes inside to Toll. Goes up and in for 2, and she's fouled on the way to the basket. And they're going to whistle that one on Mayhay. And that's her 5th, and she'll have a seat. 6 points. And that puts Toll at the line. Toll will have one shot here.
Not the basket for Marty Toll shooting the line for a 1 shot.
Toll goes up and can't get it to fall. Campbell fights her way out with it and hands off to Davis. Davis out to Waddell. Also joined out there with a long 3-pointer at that time. Put up by Mitchell. We got a ball knocked out of bounds off of Western Hills. Harrison County ball. Christina Ayers will check back in for Campbell. Perkins also the 5th member of that unit out there for Western Hills. 3:31 left to play. 61-56. Phillies up by 5. Gets it back to Brooke Kinney. Western Hills remaining in their defense. Full court. Bringing the ball down to Van Hook. Van Hook gets it across the line into the hands of Hudgens. Bailey looking to bring the ball down the floor. Nearly gets stripped, but hangs on to it. Pulls up around the stripe. Can't get it to fall. And now with is Davis. Davis looking to run. Davis comes down. She'll slow things down as the rest of the green jerseys come down with her. Davis looking to go over Van Hook. Puts it up. No good. Ball fought for. Davis rebound up. No. Continues to be fought for. And Western Hills Perkins will knock it out of bounds. 2:58 left to play. Both clubs in double bonus. Timeout called by Harrison County. Well, for any insurance needs you may have, give Dustin Rose or Amy Davis a phone call. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, 27 South of Cynthiana, 859-234-4514. 234-4514. Give Dustin and Amy a call, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. 61-56, 2:58 left to play. Harrison County has led the majority of the night. Western Hills has cut it within 3 here in the fourth quarter. Phillies up by 5 at the moment. Stay with us. During our post-game report, we'll be joined by Coach Watson. We'll also name the Judy Construction Player of the Game and take a look how the numbers break down. See, Harrison County looking for their 2nd win on the year. As we mentioned, our first half looking about as good as they have looked the entire season. Actually, they've looked really good tonight overall. Harrison County taking it out. Caroline Van Hook trying to get the ball back into play. Van Hook finds Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens back to Van Hook. Caroline making the ball down on the floor in a hurry. 2:52, clock continuing to tick. Keelan Custard out with it, being guarded very closely by Waddell. Custard looking left side, will give it off to Hudgens. Hudgens into Van Hook. Caroline spin move up, no good, fought for, and coming out with it will be Waddell. Waddell trying to bring the ball down the floor. Kenny hanging out with her, left side to Perkins. Perkins goes over Toe, no good. Out with the rebound is Kenny, and Kenny gets tied up with Ayers, and possession arrow belongs to Western Hills. Campbell checking back in. 61-56, 2:29 left to play. Phillies with the lead. Western Hills with the ball. Christina Ayers trying to get it in under the Wolverine basket. Still having trouble. We're going to find Davis out front. She'll go down the lane, goes up to the glass for two, and is fouled on the way to the basket. That's our first field goal of the night. And that's against Bailey. That's her second. Davis will go to the line. She'll have one shot. She has done most of her damage at the free throw line, especially here in the fourth quarter. Perkins, Davis out there, Waddell, Mitchell, and Ayers. The shot no good. Coming out with it, Harrison County's Van Hook. Goes to Hudgens. Bailey looking to bring the ball down the floor. Bring the ball down on the left side. It's it back out front to Van Hook. Van Hook goes to the left, gets bumped out of bounds, knocked off of Davis. And Davis saying, I didn't touch it. Harrison County will take the ball. Van Hook trying to get the ball back into play. Gets it to Toe. Toe back to Van Hook as we approach the 2-minute mark. Van Hook back around center court. Christina Ayers with her. Van Hook drives, goes off the glass, and as she does, she's fouled on the way to the basket. And that's against Ayers. That's her third. Puts Caroline at the strike. Came in averaging 10 points, has 6 overall tonight. Very quiet, but she has spent a lot of the night in foul trouble. Has 4 right now. She'll have a couple of shots. Couple of dribbles. Senior goes up and a little too hard. She'll have another. Campbell back in for Perkins for Western Hills. She'll have another here. Perfect. Her 7th point overall. Phillies back up 62-58. We're under 2 minutes. On the left side, that's Mitchell. Mitchell looking to move the ball around. Custer coming out with her. Mitchell over to Waddell. Waddell, they'll find Wilder. Goes in to Ayers. Ayers kisses it off the glass for 2. Nice shot. 62-60. It's as close as Western Hills has been since early in the ball game. Van Hook bringing the ball down the floor. We're approaching 90 seconds. Caroline goes down the lane, and she does. We got a foul. It's against Western Hills. And they're going to whistle that one against Wilder, and that's her second. Puts Van Hook at the line. See if Caroline can make it a 3-point game here. And she does just that. She'll have another. Davis back in for Wilder. Couple of dribbles for Caroline. Perfect. Davis brings the ball down the floor. Puts up a shot from around the stripe. No good. Campbell over the back. Up and in for 2. You know, we've had a lot of complaining by the Western Hills fans tonight. I've not noticed them call anything over the back on that. That's happened especially in the second quarter. Van Hook goes into Kenny. Kenny out on the right side, looking to go back, still trying to get away from the ball. She'll just go baseline. Campbell's going to get her. She goes up. 64-62, 102 left to play. That's Campbell's first. Puts Kenny at the line. Brooke 2 for 4 there tonight.
At the line for Harrison County, Brooke Kennedy, shooting 2 shots.
That's 12 points. Make it 13, and she'll sink it. Makes it a 3-point lead for the Fillies. Let's see if she can make it a 2-possession game here. 102 left to play. Toll will have a seat as Linville comes in.
Can't play 7 players. Or should I say 8 because you finally called something.
Up and in. 4-point lead for the Fillies. Bringing the ball down to Ayers. We go under a minute. Looking to the left side. She'll find Waddell. Waddell will go down the left side to Mitchell. Mitchell tries to weave her way in. Goes in the lane. No good. Ball coming down, and we got a foul against the Wolverines. And they're going to whistle that one. Mitchell, and Mitchell's third. And at the other end we go. This will put Linville at the line. Katie, 2 points overall, but has spent a lot of the ball game in foul trouble with 4 right now.
Thanks for giving them that game.
49 seconds left.
Like good tonight because you had cheated those girls. Y'all horrible.
Up and in. Linville will have another. 67-62, 49 seconds left. Perfect. Well, we mentioned that earlier in the third quarter, the free throw situation that Western Hills had been in. Harrison County is counted here in the fourth. 68-62, 49 seconds left. This one's not over by any stretch of the imagination, but Harrison County trying to inch their way closer. Picking up Coach Watson's second win as Phillies head coach. Phillies back in action on Wednesday night as they make the trip to Bishop Rosser to take on the Lady Stings. And then next week, Phillies will be making a trip to Bourbon County to participate in the tournament over there. Ball put back into play. Western Hills bringing the ball down. That's Davis. Davis goes up and a little too hard. Van Hook out with the rebound, and we got a whistle against Western Hills. And let's see who this one's on. They're going to whistle that on Davis. That's her fourth. Wolverines already a couple of players fouling out here in the ball game. Fouls have been interesting. Van Hook going to the line. She has 9 points overall. That'll put her in double figures with her 10th point. She'll have another. Wilder will come in for Waddell. 41 seconds, 69-62. Phillies with the lead. Little too hard, ball loose, and coming out with it's Wilder. Wilder wanting to bring it down on the right side. As Mitchell tries to go up with it, she is fouled, and this one against Custer, and that's her second. And both clubs are sitting a double bonus here.
At the line for Western Hills, Mitchell shooting 2 shots.
Mitchell will go to the line for 2 here. Anna Mitchell. Up and in, perfect. 6 points here in the half. 13 overall for Mitchell tonight. Campbell will have a seat as Perkins checks in. 69-63, 33 seconds. Perfect. Makes it back to a 5-point lead. Bailey Hudgens bringing the ball down the floor. Bailey bringing the ball across the timeline, gets tangled up with Ayers. Hudgens still, 23 seconds, and Ayers will pick up her fourth. puts Hudgens at the line.
At the line for Harrison County, 23, patient shooting 2 shots.
5 for 6 at the stripe tonight. 17 points. Up and in. Up and in. Waddell will come back in for Davis for Western Hills. 71-64. Waddell brings it across the timeline. 20 seconds. Waddell with it out front. Left side. That's a shot put up. That time, Western Hills Wilder. Under 10 seconds. Hudgens gets it to Custer. Custer brings it down and gets fouled from behind. And that'll be Mitchell's fourth.
Western Hills fouls on number 2, Keanu Mitchell.
Custer going to the line. Keely 1 for 2 there tonight. That's 15 points overall. Up and in. She'll have another.
Hope you donate your check to charity while you treat these girls tonight.
And a little too hard. Ayers out with the rebound. 1 second. Shot put up from around half court. Harrison County wins. 72-66. Harrison County will go to 2-5 on the year, but more importantly, they will advance on the semifinal play of the 2A tournament in January, where they will now have a date with Mercer County. Lexington Catholic and Boyle County will also be here for that tournament. So congratulations to Coach Watson and his team. Stay with us. We will have our post-game report. We're about ready to start. Actually, we're going to start right now. Coach Watson, get over here. Well, stay with us. We'll take a look at the numbers, how they break down. We'll also take a look at the junior construction player of the ball game.
It's Christmas lights.
And Coach, congratulations. Huge win tonight. Yeah. Well, mentioned now joined by Harrison County head coach Bill Watson. And Coach, a big win here on the floor. As we mentioned, anytime you play a really tough team.
Well, that's a good win off of the effort we had on Friday night at Paris that
Very
you got
true.
to witness. I apologize for that, by the way, that you had to witness that.
Oh, just the first half.
But it's amazing what happens when you put the ball in the basket a little bit.
Yeah.
You're more energized defensively, and I thought we did a great job in the first half in a half-court defense. I thought we got a little tired in the second half because we don't go real deep. And we started giving up some easy dribble drives and reaching out and fouling that we didn't do in the first half. And we had no answer for the big seventh grader.
Well, you mentioned her. She was over the back several times tonight, but you're right. There just wasn't an answer. I mean, seeing that, Katie's been a lot in foul trouble too, though.
Well, we're in foul trouble, but we don't have any size. And, our girls are inside. We got inside position, and she's going over top of contact. But she's just walking us under the rim. And we've got to figure out a way to do that. I thought finally I waited long enough to go to the check, run over and post player behind her, and that slowed her down a little bit. But then we started giving up dribble drives. So we've got some work, but we're going to enjoy this until Wednesday night when we go to Brossard and see what happens down there.
Well, I mentioned the comment after the first half. It's about as good as Harrison has looked all season.
Well, yeah, and again, it goes back to we made shots, and we were energized on one end, and we were active. We made open shots. We gave it up. We were unselfish. That's the way we have to play.
Yeah.
It certainly does help when the ball goes in.
You have to also be very proud of the free throw shooting. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but Harrison County doing a well of a job at the line, especially in the fourth quarter.
Well, I thought we went to the line and made shots as well. I don't know what they were from the line, but it seemed like they hit like 20 straight.
It seemed like
they couldn't miss. But yes, we stepped up with the lead in a one possession, two possession game and made free throws.
Okay, Coach, I know you need to get back with the kids, so we'll let you do that. Of course, Wednesday night, real quick comment about the Lady Stangs.
Well, we're going to enjoy it till Wednesday night, and we're going to go battle Brossard and see if we can have the same effort. And, if the ball's going in, we're going to be okay.
And I said one other question. I'm going to throw one more question at you. Of the 2A, the sectional, you will now play in January, back here at home.
Yes, sir. We play Boyle County. I think it's January 6th,
Okay.
whatever that Friday is. I'm not sure if we play the first game or second game, but that'll be a doubleheader. The other game will be Mercer County, one of the top 20 teams in the state, and Lexington Catholic, one of the top 25 teams in the state, who we scrimmaged here and battled right down to the end. They won a half, we won a half. So, if we were fortunate enough to get Boyle County, we'll take our shot in the final and see what happens.
Well, one game at a time. Congratulations, and a good game tonight.
Thank you, sir.
And, of course, Harrison County head coach Bill Watson picking up his second win as head coach of the Harrison County Fillies. The Fillies run their record to 2-5. So we mentioned we begin the post-game report, and tell you what we're going to do. We're going to step out. Let me do a little bit of math. We'll get the numbers here for you, and when we do, we'll have the numbers for you. We'll also name the Jude Construction Player of the Game, and a lot more here from the floor up arena. I'm jumping way ahead tonight in March. Right here from the floor at Harrison County. As we mentioned, the Fillies win 72-66, your final. Harrison County over Western Hills. Stay with us. More on the way. Back here at the Hilltop. I know where I'm at now. And as we mentioned, Harrison County winning here tonight. The fourth quarter, though, well, we'll take a look at all that in just a moment. Let's take a look at the Western Hills numbers. The Wolverines, as we mentioned, with their 66 points. Christina Ayers tonight doing a nice job at 7 points overall here tonight to count for part of the 66 points. 10 points tonight for Keely Davis. 9 of those 10 coming in the second half, and 7 of those 10, 8 of the 10 coming at the free throw stripe tonight. Lauren Mayhay fouled out with 6 points tonight, all coming in the second half. 14 points tonight for Kiana Mitchell. Mitchell with 14 points overall tonight. 4 points for Aubrey Perkins. Perkins with 4 points. Sakota Wilder with 4 points tonight as well. $16 points tonight from Mayla Campbell. Campbell with 16, 10 of those coming in that third quarter tonight, as she was the leading scorer for Western Hills, and 5 points for Sarah Ayers. Ayers with 5 overall tonight. That is the way they scored their 66 points. As far as Harrison County goes, so we take a look. 16 points tonight for Keely Custer. Custer with 16 points. Nice night for the freshman. 19 points tonight for Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens with 19 points overall tonight. 4 points for Katie Linville. Linville with 4 points. 14 points for Brooke Kenny. Kenny with 14 tonight. Wow, big night for her. Caroline Van Hook, who spent the majority of the night in foul trouble, had 10 points. 10 points overall tonight. Marley Toll off the bench had 2 points. That's coming late in the fourth quarter. 2 points for Toll. Hayden Lunsford tonight had 7 points. Lunsford with 7. Harrison County putting 4 players in double figures, including Bailey Hudgens with 19, Keely Custer with 16, Brooke Kenny with 14, and Caroline Van Hook with 10. Wow. Our Judy Construction player of the ball game, we have to give it to Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens with 19 points overall tonight, doing a great job as naming our Judy Construction player of the ball game. Well, Harrison County, as you heard, it now does advance on to the next round of the 2A tournament on January the 6th, where they'll have a date for Boyle County that night in semifinal play as far as the sectional goes. If they were to win, they would play the next night in the final here at the Hilltop either against Catholic or Mercer County. But first things first, got to take on Boyle County. As we take a look as far as the schedule goes, and I don't have an update as far as the Breds. I don't know. I'm assuming the game is over, but I don't know that. Let's see if we can get that here in a moment. And Harrison County, the Breds do win 62-59 the final. That means the Breds now advance on to the semifinals of the sectional tournament. I'm assuming over in Western Hills, probably around that same time is when that one will be as well. But we'll know more about that as we get closer to it. And so here the Breds winning tonight and picking up their 8th win overall over at Western Hills. So congratulations to them. So the Breds and the Fillies, Harrison County, sweeping Western Hills tonight. And so, as we mentioned, the Breds are back in action this weekend. Breds will be making the trip down to Marshall County to participate in their tournament down there. They will be playing 2 games on Thursday. And get you that here in just a moment. The first game they'll be playing a team out of Tennessee. And that game is scheduled for 12:30 on Thursday. They will then turn around and play at 8:30 against Marshall County on Thursday as well. On Friday, they will have a date at 1 o'clock where they will take a team on Florida. That is the next time the Harrison County Thoroughbreds will be in action. As far as this Western Hills Ball Club, as we take a look at their schedule, they're back in action later this week. Is Western Hills, as we mentioned, after tonight, they'll be taking a presentation, and that will be taking place on Wednesday. That'll be the next time they're in action. The next time the Fillies are in action, they will be Wednesday night. They'll be making the trip to Bishop Rosser to take on the Lady Stangs up there. That game, of course, will be on WCYN 1400 AM and 101.3 FM on the radio side of things. Jim will be back along with you for that on Wednesday evening. We need to say a big thank you to some folks that allowed us to be here tonight. We say thank you to Cynthiana Tire, Ag Credit, Angelo's Pizza, Sora Home Medical, Van Hook Hardware, Poindexter Lumber, Primo Smile, Harrison Memorial Hospital, Southern States, Edward Jones, Bluegrass Stockyards, Hinton Mills, Unity Christian Church, Judy Construction, Joe Cochran and State Farm, Canup Law, Cynthiana Hardy's. Also by Snappy Tomato Pizza, by Mike Furnish and Farm Credit in Mid-America, as well as being brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau. All folks allowing us to be with you here tonight for tonight's matchup. We need to also say thank you, of course, Ryan Annis doing a great job as well. Also to Laura Espinola, as they both ran our YouTube side of things tonight. We thank them. They're always doing a good job as they have done throughout the last few years with us as well. We thank you most of all for spending a little bit of your evening on your Monday night here on the WCYN2 app, as well as on our YouTube page as well. Harrison County advances to semifinal play in the 2A tournament, and back in January. They're back in action on Wednesday night against Brosser. Your final for the final time tonight, 72-66. Until next time, good night.